Hi, this is Tamara Ginchik from Fashion Roundtable. I'm here with the incredible Katharine Hamnett. Thank you very much for joining me today. Obviously, like many in the fashion industry, including this T-shirt that you designed for us when we did our Brexit report, which says correctly, according to our data, that 96% of those who we surveyed didn't want a Brexit, were Remainers. You have been a strong voice in the sector about the Brexit referendum. Obviously, this week sees the last possible opportunity for us for the UK to get a deal with the EU. Your thoughts on this haven't shifted.
No, I mean, I'd say cancel Brexit right now. It just looks impossible, and it always was impossible without a hard border with Northern Ireland. So what are we messing around with? What is the motivation of government? I mean, I just cannot understand, what is making them tick. I mean, I understand there must have been massive disappointments with the fact that Trump didn't win in America because they were banking on that. That hasn't happened. Biden has come out strongly in favor of Ireland and doesn't want anything that disturbs the Good Friday Agreement, and God bless him, he's absolutely right. So what's going to happen to us? I mean, it's just extraordinary, this complete obsession with fishing. I mean, much as I hugely admire fishermen and their bravery, it's 1.9 billion, as opposed to
35.
What retail?
Yeah.
Fashion retail is something like 59 billion.
Right.
The car industry is 78 billion. What's going to happen to all of those people? It's just as if they're using, this sort of vague understanding of PR that people are concerned about fishing. I mean, they've actually voted to destroy British fishing waters because they didn't illegalize bottom trawling. And then they're whinging about what the French or other people are going to take when they've actually decided to kill our own fish. I mean, you can laugh, but it's like...
I would quite like to have Fish's PR on fashion side, put it that way, because I think the fishing industry have played a blinder from a very small position. And I do think...
Well, I don't know. I think it's just stupid government have picked up on it and think, oh, people like fishing, they feel sorry for, the fishermen. I think they're unbelievably brave people who go out in this hideous, northern climes and rough seas to catch fucking fish, half of which get chucked away. I just think they're incredibly brave, but there are other industries, if you're looking at the country as a whole, that are of more importance economically than fishing, and they're not getting a look in.
No.
But it's really interesting. I listened to this podcast the other day about who actually voted for Brexit, and it was nobody up north. It was southern England. It was the home counties. People retired on kind of comfortable pensions and realizing maybe they haven't got any status. I mean, what is the thinking behind it? It's a just disaster it's an economic disaster. It's an educational disaster.
Yeah.
It's a cultural disaster.
What decisions have you made for your business, Katharine, because of it? Have you moved?
Well, we stripped it right down.
Right.
We were making in Italy, but that looked like a nightmare. So we're kind of slightly, obviously with sort of Brexit, import duty, could it be World Trade Organization, 10% coming in, going out? We're kind of slightly holding our breath and seeing which way to jump, but we've pared it down to the absolute bone because it looks like it's going to be impossible to do business from the UK if Brexit goes ahead on a hard Brexit, which looks like what's happening. Even just look at what happened to the pound today. And it fell off the cliff because people are now getting really seriously worried that we're going for this inconceivable hard Brexit. I mean, what is driving them? I mean, who is putting money into whose pocket? The only thing we can think, this is not the result of sane minds. This has got to be the result of people who are distorted by taking huge bribes. Because there's no rationale, there's no sensible argument for Brexit. Take back control of what? Those half-wit, those cardboard sandwiches in Westminster. You want them taking control of what?
Yeah, I think it's...
I mean, they're appalling. They're all appalling.
So
We've
what would
never had such pathetic leadership in this country, ever. And it's on both sides. It's Labour as well as Conservative.
What do you think good leadership would look like?
Well, I mean, personally, I'd like to, sort of juggling around the ashes. I mean, it would look, decisive. It'd be statesmanlike. It would know that an ethical foreign policy is actually an economically sound foreign policy. I'd want us cutting back on, arms sales to the Saudis. I mean, we're basically killing people in the Yemen as we speak. The soft spot for the arms industry, that's got to go. We should have a massive emphasis on education because we've got no natural resources. Our only resources are educated population, and that's being crucified. I'd like to have a review of how we do agriculture. We need to get rid of these huge monocultures. We need to be moving towards regenerative organic. I mean, we're really well placed with climate change because after Brexit, the only thing we're going to have left in this country is a lot of water. It's going to carry on raining. So, we've got a massive agricultural opportunity here, which we need to grab fast because we've got, because 80% of our food is imported. We need to be really growing our own food as from now. Otherwise, you've got a crash in the pound. You've got 10% import duty. So the price of food is going to go through the roof. Sorry, we just happen to have a plane going ahead.
One of those rare planes that's happening this year. They're not very...
Yeah, what is that? It's a propeller driven. Is there something going...
They're coming to get you, Katharine.
Yeah, they're looking for us anyway.
If you were starting out in the industry, would you be thinking of opening in Europe rather than the UK? Or what would you...
Yeah, hell yeah. I would look at beautiful... I like it sort of that beautiful French handwriting on product. I'd get as many grants as I could from the EU to start, beautiful factories in France or in Italy because they've got this incredible, they've got these incredible skills and they've got this beautiful sort of signature in manufacturing, which is super high quality and which is regarded, by the, the biggest consumers of fashion, Southeast Asia, Japan, China. They want made in the EU. They don't want made in China or they're made in Japan. And ideally, they'd like made in England as well. I mean, the opportunity that we have for making top quality menswear, which is what we're famous for in the UK, we could be, setting up new state-of-the-art factories in the UK because our factories suffered from us being the first industrialized country. So they became a bit ropey. We copied Italian production lines, the way that the factories are laid out. You'd have Italians and French training people how to sew, how to make, We should be doing all that. We should be, giving grants to our Scottish knitwear factories to stop them, so they could stand on their own feet and not have to sell themselves to the Chinese.
Yeah.
Loads of the cashmere factories have now gone down that way.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things we could do, but there's no political will.
So how do we get?
And there's no vision. There's no vision. I think that's what.
I mean, other than our Brexit manifesto, which was 2 years ago when we started Fashion Roundtable,
failed utterly. Yeah.
I haven't seen any other manifestos from the sector. And when you compare other industries, the same issues coming across this whole week of our takeover is that other sectors are more coherent. They put money into advocacy to promote the interests of their sector. And the fashion industry doesn't. I mean, I started with my phone and a lot of kind of like banging on doors and emails and persistence. But I think it is shocking when you realise you're up against a car industry, pharmaceuticals, fishing even, which makes a tiny amount of money, but has obviously invested a lot into public affairs and promotion of its needs. And I think that this is again and again going to be the issue until our sector wakes up to it. But when you have news today of like 25,000 job losses on the high street in one day, that is double the losses of the entire UK fishing industry. The entire UK fishing industry, someone I interviewed for this series told me, is employs less people than Topshop. I mean, so somewhere we're seriously going wrong on why we haven't got our messaging about Brexit out there. And I do wonder what you think we should be doing differently as a sector.
Well, there's so many conflicting interests, aren't there? People using, we've got that whole thing now that's been exposed that people like Patagonia and Nike and Adidas lobbying the Chinese government that they want to carry on making in kind of slave labor. The industry stinks from head to toe. It's almost like the industry's dead. God save the new clothing industry. It's almost we've got to start it from scratch.
No,
because if you've got 75% of our components are imported, we're actually making in the UK, and these are all going to carry import duty, it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult to get this thing going again. And all goods coming in from, everywhere else have got huge import duties on them. It's going to make it very hard for the high street.
Yeah.
I've got no answers.
No. I think when we've got through this, let's look at working on a manifesto for change. I think that could be a good step for us to do. And I'd like your thoughts on that, if that's okay, Katharine.
Say it again.
I think we should look at doing a manifesto for change and what that really looks like, but with real business insight, not like we're all going to start making clothes out of felt in Wales, because that's just not.
No, exactly. I love, the fact that secondhand has had a huge revival, and that's really sensible. People like Trade doing a fantastic job.
Completely.
And consumers waking up to the fact that secondhand, or whatever you want to call them, clothes are actual vintage.
I used to see you Katharine, when I was at university, I used to see you going into Annie's in Islington to buy clothes. And I was
what a beautiful
that
shop.
Icon of the fashion industry going in, because I loved them at Annie's.
They had beautiful, beautiful.
Such quality.
And extraordinary wonders they had. Well, that's still available, but we're going to need new clothes. Vintage is only going to last so long. In my life, I've seen the availability of vintage because I was keen on it in the 60s. We were wearing vintage, and the selection now has shrunk, and so we need, there's hardly anything left of the clothes that we were buying from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. We need to remake those beautiful clothes. But when a country is going to be driven into poverty by the stupid Brexit, how are people going to afford anything?
Yeah. Well, thank you for your thoughts on Brexit. I'm sorry that we can't be more positive about this, but there's many in the industry.
Well, there's no point lying.
No, there is absolutely
no point. It looks like a total car crash.
And not in an electric car either, in a high-speed car.
In something kind of
high-speed diesel.
Oh, God.
Careering into the M1. Thank you very much, Katharine.
My pleasure. Thank you.